Well, good morning, all.
Is it morning?
Morning.
Oh.
Jeff and I are back to a spot we were at earlier this year. Oh, and we have Cullen with us.
Already got a target.
Hey, he's already digging. Right down here, I was digging a hole, finding good gold, and my hole filled full of water. Well, this is our last pan out of this hole because the hole's filling up with water. And as we know, it's almost impossible to get gold out of the water because it's on the bottom, and unless you can go under it to bring it out, all you do when you move the gravel, it just keeps going down. Well, the river's down about 4 feet, so I'm gonna clean that. I know there's gold in that hole. And then right here, Jeff found half a Chinese coin. So he's gonna do a little detecting. I'm gonna go pan that, dig out the bottom of that spot where I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get first gold. But that hole is right here. And we were finding some good gold here. So I'm thinking at least my first pan should be a nice pan. So let me grab some equipment, see if we can find some gold. Now when we were in here before, the water was a lot higher. This is the first spot where it can come in and circle here. Now we're not gonna find any big gold in here. And I think Jeff just found first gold.
First gold, and it's actually not bad. Right there, right there, right there, right there. First gold.
Damn.
You can even see that one.
I can even see it.
Oh.
Okay, now this, we're digging in now, it's packed real tight. So I'm pretty sure we're in gravel now that we did not disturb. Okay, that'll be good enough. Let's go pan her out. We got a nice pan. The only problem is this may be our best pan of the day, because last time I was here, I was finding okay gold. And as I was digging and trying to get the gravel out, the gold stays ahead. It goes down through the gravel. And so basically I was accumulating gravel at the bottom of the hole. Or I should say I was accumulating gold at the bottom of the hole. And this is the gold that I couldn't get. Now what we're gonna do, we're gonna clean this up. I'll show you this, then we're gonna clean it up. Then we're gonna take another pan out of the same hole, but a little deeper, and I'm willing to bet you we're gonna find gold, but nowhere near as much. Okay, let me show you this. Now you can see here, we got a really nice spread of gold. And I'm here to tell you, that water is cold. My hand, I can barely feel my fingers out of this after just that one pan. All right. Let me snuff this up, do some digging, try to warm the old fingers up. Okay, I got the next pan off the bottom. Actually, the gravel still looks good, but to be honest with you, the river's gone down enough. There's some bedrock exposed down here with some boulders on it that looks really good to me. So I'm kind of hoping the gold's not good in here so we can go down there and take a look. Well, we'll see here in a second. I'm waiting for Jeff to get out of the panning spot. We got that panned out, and kind of like I expected, we got nowhere near the gold or the black sand we did the first pan. Now you can see we still have a nice little line of gold, but look at the black sand, nowhere near what we had in the other pan. Like I was saying earlier, we're in a good spot. We're still in a good spot, and the gravel still looks good. So we're gonna continue finding gold here, But let me show you what's really bugging me. This looks good to me. This is just maybe 10 feet from where we were. We were right up there. We're still on the boulder line, but the boulder line is hitting bedrock. This is all bedrock in here. So where these boulders are all lined up on this bedrock, this looks really good to me. So let's grab a little test pan, do a little digging here, see if we can find some catches, take a couple of test pans, see if it's worth moving down here or if we should stick with that up there. The trick here is we don't want to get out here where it's open because there's too much flow here. We want to stay in amongst these boulders. We want to make sure we stay in the sand and gravel because that's where our most gold when we're panning is going to be. Now here, if I was running a metal detector, I'd be looking out here because this is where your larger pieces are going to be. But panning, there's too many spots to pan that take up too much time to try to find that larger piece. You're better off staying in the sand and gravel and just going for quantity of smaller pieces. Okay, well, I'm gonna do some scratching. Let's see if we can find a spot. Now I wanted to take a quick minute here to show you this. Here you have one type of bedrock, and here you have another type of bedrock, and you have a crevice here. This is too obvious. You can see how these rocks, it doesn't look natural. This is too obvious. Somebody has already come in here, dug this out, and cleaned this crevice. So if you come in here, you're looking at this, you see an obvious crevice like this, and especially with stacked rocks like this, you know, don't waste your time. Somebody's been here before. Now the problem, one of the problems we're dealing with is it's been raining. So all this, there's puddles of water here everywhere. And we want to make sure we don't work ourselves into a low point that's going to fill full of water. Now I did bring the crevice sucker with me today. So if we do get in that situation and we are finding gold, well, at least we can suck it out. Once you move the rock, before we disturb this, we want to look at our gravel, make sure that it looks natural. It looks like it's been here a while, and hopefully it's going to be somewhat packed, which it is. Okay, pull this top down. We're more concerned about the makeup of our gravel than we are of the gold. Now it looks like we have a really good combination of sand and gravel. Okay, I'm going to take this, do a quick pan so we can see what our black sand looks like. So you got that pan down to the black sand. Now I wanted to show you the black sand before I pan that away to see how we did on the gold. Now you can see here we got quite a bit of black sand, and you get in here close and you can see it's fairly coarse. That's what we're after. Okay, I'm going to pan this down, see if we got some gold. You know, we got gold. We got, it's either lead or mercury gold and a couple of small pieces of iron. So this pan's pretty good. Now there's not a lot of gold, but then again, this is right off the top. And you can see here we got a few pieces of gold. That's either lead or dirty gold, and a couple of small pieces of iron here. Based off of mainly the coarseness of the black sand and our location, I'm saying we need to dig more. The fact that we did get a little bit of gold and iron tells me, yeah, we need to dig more. Okay, let's go down a little bit, see if it gets better or worse. Now we have our first serious pan. The problem is we've hit water in the low spot. Now I'm not too concerned about that because if this has gold, we're going into the bank, not down into the low area. One of the things I wanted to show you was the color of the water as we're panning. You'll notice how we've got a fair amount of mud, dirt or clay. This tells me we're in gravel that has accumulated the clay, which means it's not overly washed. Now you don't want nothing but clay, but to have a little bit of mud coming out of your pan is not a bad thing. Now you can see, or I don't know if you can, but the gravel, the overall look is dark, which is good. If that was a lot of blonde sand, then our gravel's too light. But it's telling us that we got good heavy gravel. The rocks we're getting out of here are nice, rounded, dark rocks. All right, let's get away from those ripples. Now we got a fair amount of black sand. We're just going to go ahead and pan this black sand away. This is not a comfortable spot to pan. Okay, let's take a look. Now we got a nice little piece of gold, and looks like we got some lead. All right, let me show you. You can see we got a fair amount of gold through here, and our chunk of lead there. Now to me, that pan is what I'm looking for. I think as we go into the bank, we're going to find a lot more pieces, but as you go into the bank, technically your gold's going to get smaller, but there's going to be more of it. Let's find out. Now this is old bedrock here, where I want to go back in here. We got bedrock here, so I'm thinking this is back more into the gravel. Let's see if we can move these rocks. Let's take some of this stuff off the bedrock right here. And this gravel's really packed, so let me go grab a crevice tool. Now this crevice is starting to look better because we got quite a bit of gravel really packed down in there. Now the problem we got is the water, but we do have our crevice sucker with us today. Well, I can't get this rock out of here. The problem with the water, you can't see what you're doing. But all the way back here, we have gravel down in there, and it's looking better and better. Now, the nice thing about this is if we suck up any gold, it stays in the sucker, but we can just get rid of the water so we can see what we're doing. Okay. And see, now we still have gravel down in there. Okay, we just did a pan. Added stuff I pulled out of there. Nothing big, but a lot of pieces. As you can see, we got gold all through here. Got the bottom of that thing finally sucked out, and we got a chunk of lead and a couple pieces of gold. Okay, right there, a piece of lead, a couple of nicer pieces of gold. I think I'm gonna get something to eat, and then I'm gonna start pulling boulders down because I don't think we're at the best spot yet. I wanna go in a little further. Back from lunch. And the plan now is we're just going to follow this crevice back up and move these rocks here. Watch, it's starting to look like rain. I just did a couple of test pans. I did one off of the top stuff, and it had a lot of black sand and a fair amount of small pieces. You know, I wouldn't call them flakes. They were just little tiny pieces, a lot of them. Then I went down about 6 inches, did another test pan. There was less gold, but larger pieces and coarser black sand. And now I'm down close to the bedrock, and I just dug this up, which is a chunk of iron, so it's looking better. Okay, well, I got the pan of the good stuff, and I just got hit with some raindrops. We may have to get out of here. I'll be right back. Well, I'm still not sure if we have any gold, but I got to show you the black sand. We got a ton of black sand. Take a look at this. That is a lot of black sand for one pan. Okay, well, I'm going to pan this down and see what we got in the way of gold in here. Well, it's taken too long to pan this down because we're running short of time because it's going to start raining before too much longer. But I got it down enough where you can see, get an idea of the gold we got. So take a look at this. See here, we got a pretty good pile of nice sized pieces there. Okay, well, I'm going to snap all this up. I'm not sure what happened to Jeff and Colin. Their packs are gone. I don't know if they're heading back to the Jeep or if they're going upstream. But I'm going to go ahead and clean this up. I want to take one more pan off of the surface to see what that looks like. And then I think we're going to have to abandon this place. Okay, I got our test pan. I'll be right back. I kind of cheated. I panned a pan down to just the black sand. Then I dug some more of that gravel, panned it down. And the reason why I wanted to test the bank is winter's here. This bank is not going to dry out. Working down on the bedrock, it's going to take too long. It's always going to bleed water. So my thought is, let's move up into the gravel, see if it's worth bringing the high banker back in. And after this pan, I'm thinking it's worth bringing the high banker back in. Let me show you. You can see here we got a pretty good spread of gold. It's really starting to get dark. And I've got no idea where Jeff and Kellen went, so I'm going to pack everything up, go see if I can find them. If anything exciting is happening, I'll turn the camera back on. If not, I'll see you back at the house. Back at the house, and you guessed it, it's the next day. It's actually late the next day because it took me quite a bit to get that black sand cleaned up. There was a lot of super fine gold in there. Now, as usual, everything went through the 50 mesh, just goes into the end of the ear bucket, and everything else we clean up. So what do you say we jump over the scale and see how we did? See, here we got a lot of pieces. None of them very big, but there's a bunch. 2.18 grams. A little over 2 grams. It just tickles me pink because staying in my 2 gram rut, and this time of year, that's not easy to do. Now, we got nothing but rain in the forecast, so I'm not sure when we're going to get out again and where we're going to be able to go. I really want to get back up there and run some of that gravel that we tested at the end of the day. I'd like to run that through the high banker, see if the gold holds. But we may end up just working the hillside looking for treasure because I think it's going to get pretty wet down on the river. But who knows? All I know is we're going to go out and do something. Okay, well, that's all I got on this one. So I'm out of here. You guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video.